All right, thanks so much for taking your time to actually watch our video on our Plumbing Bid Pro software. This software was built by plumbers for plumbers. We use it personally in our own plumbing business. It saves us hours and hours of time. You know, each quote, it's a minimum of an hour to two. So just let me show you exactly how it works. All right, so in here, you'd put your project name. I already filled it out just for ease. So that's just like the project address or however you want to fill it out. Pick the size of the house. So when you look at your blueprints and you see it's from the main floor and the second floor is how we size it. And it's a 2,300 to 2,700 square foot. We've figured out everything in the back end and we'll go through that later. So you just pick the size of house that you're working on, and then you just put your builder name, your contractor, your markup on the materials that you would usually charge. We charge 35%. And then here you just click here and you date it. So when you save it, you know where to find it. Everything is based on 2-man labor rate. So if you charge whatever you charge for 2 guys, like apprentice and a journeyman, we charge 160 when we're quoting bigger jobs. So we're going to come into groundworks. We actually have groundworks and tie-ins kind of grouped together. The groundworks and the tie-ins are all in one right now, but we will be splitting them up and that'll be coming very soon. So usually we would have a 3-piece bathroom in the basement, a floor drain. We use condensate drains for the furnaces and the hot water tanks. Right now we're not going to say on this one there's a washer, dryer, or any of that stuff. So then come down here and you do miscellaneous materials. That's just like your backwater valves and like your glue and things like that. So it'll include that in your material list for you when we show you after. And main floor, we'd come down to the half bath. We're going to put 1 half bath. Come down to kitchen sink with vent. It seems like most people have to vent. So like if we have an island, we're allowed to use a cheater vent. So that's why we have this one without vent. So if you're doing it with a vent and you have to back vent it or vent it some sort of way, then you just pick the one with the vent. And then again, miscellaneous materials just brings in strapping and all that stuff. And for second floor drainage, we're going to do a 4-piece, a washer dryer, a laundry sink, a 5-piece. And where we're from, we have to do indirect drains all the way back to the mechanical room. So we'll put that in there. And the reason we have half bath and kitchen sinks on the second floor one is we've actually set this up for bungalows. So if you're doing a bungalow, you would skip the main floor and just do your groundworks, which would be your groundworks obviously, and then your second floor you can add in everything, and this will be like a bungalow style if you were to do a bungalow, but we're doing a 2-story right now. We're going to skip the half bath and kitchen sink. We're going to do miscellaneous materials. Hot water tanks, we usually do tankless. We will be adding more, and this will all be very customizable once we get the software developer to kind of get it going. We're not quite there, but you will be able to change the wording and the names of everything in the back, and it'll be fully customizable. And then water lines, so we had a 3-piece in the basement, we had a 4-piece on the second floor, a 5-piece, a washer dryer, we had no prep sink, we had a kitchen sink, and then a laundry sink, and then a half bath. We had no bar sink, mechanical room sink, and then we'll throw in some hose bibs, and we usually run an irrigation line outside. So when it says irrigation, that's just to run like a 3/4 inch PEX line to the outside and just cap it off. So then miscellaneous materials, and then gas. If you do gas, we got 1 furnace, a hot water tank, usually a barbecue, usually a cooktop. We'll say a fireplace in the basement. And all I'm doing right now is if I am actually quoting a real job, I'm just looking at a set of blueprints and I'm just punching in these fixtures essentially. So then we're skipping through all of this and we're going to do miscellaneous materials. Finishing, we got a 3-piece, a 4-piece, a 5-piece, a half bath, laundry sink, kitchen. It says kitchen island, but this is just a kitchen sink. So don't mind, like we're going to make it so you can reword this. Right now it's just, that is a kitchen sink. We didn't have a prep sink or a bar sink or mechanical room sink. Miscellaneous materials, no steamer, no recirc line, and no pipe installation. We'll deal with that later. So then you just like a matter of like a couple minutes, we've built a quote from a blueprint. We're just punching in numbers and you hit generate quote. It'll take a second. It'll automatically break down your labor hours, your labor cost, your cost of materials, your cost of materials, and then the markup, and then the total for the whole thing. And then it'll take the total for all of the groundworks. Again, this is including your tie-ins for the basement. So we will separate that. That will be coming very soon. Main floor again. So it's breaking down each section on its own, so you can review it and you're like, oh my god, I don't like these labor hours. You can actually, I'll show you that after, you can come back over here and change all of our assumptions to your own personal numbers that you like and use. If you don't like the way we've set them up, everything is customizable in that sense. Same with the material cost and everything. We'll go through that. So we've built a quote in a matter of minutes. We have everything in here. You'd normally review it. You come down here, it's like, okay, $30,000 for that size of house, for the entire plumbing and gas for a 2,300 to 2,750 square feet. And then you would just take this and take it over to your QuickBooks or whatever invoicing app you use, Joy's QuickBooks, or I don't know what everybody uses. Most people use QuickBooks. That's what we use. We'd punch this into QuickBooks, build a quote for the client, and then send it off, and we'd be done. But that's not the end of it. So the beauty of this is right here, after you've built this and say you get the job, now you're ready to do the job, you can come back to my quotes. If I come into here and I click on my quotes, I go to view and I click review materials, it builds you a material list for the entire job, and you can section it off to each one. So if you're doing groundworks, and this is why we also want to split up the groundworks and the tie-ins, because you're going to get all the materials for the tie-ins too. So this isn't just for your groundwork. So we're going to be splitting that up. We'll have groundworks and tie-ins separate, and that'll be coming very soon. It's going to pull all the materials from that section that you're going to need, everything. What you'll do is you go click share link, you send this to your wholesale, you just copy this link. But before you do that, if you decide like, oh my God, I don't need 144 feet of, ABS pipe, or I don't need 19 4-inch 45s, I actually only need 10. You can adjust it in here before you send it to your supplier. Take this link and send it to your supplier, and then they can order it, get it to deliver to site, whatever it is you want to do. So again, you can go through every single section. You got groundworks, main floor, second floor, hot water tank, water lines, gas, finishing. You can order these all separately, and we have built the material lists for you. If you're wondering already, like, how do I, my cost of materials are different from your cost of materials. We fully understand that. That's why we've made everything fully customizable. If you come in here, there's over 200 items. We don't have every single piece of plumbing item because it's impossible. So all the basic stuff, it'll get you close enough to the quote where you can get the job, get it, and get going on doing it. You share the link, same thing. Just share this link up here, send it to your supplier, email it to them, whatever. And this, once they adjust this, so if you see here, it's $1.73. I pay for an 1.25" trap adapter. If he says, oh no, it's actually, you guys are paying $3.73 or whatever it is that you're paying, as they adjust it, it will automatically, if you come back here and press refresh, you can see it automatically change the pricing in your system. So it is super seamless, extremely easy to use. The hardest part is sending this to your supplier. They have to actually do all the work. So you get them to fill this out for you. It'll take them some time, but that's what we pay them for, right? They will adjust your pricing, and it will change in your system for you. You can have them update this every 6 months. Whenever this price increases, they can keep this link and adjust it anytime they want, which is a beautiful thing. Once you've done that, you can come into review materials. This is the biggest one. There's 12,000 items in here, so you'll see it'll take a while to load. We have put in all the assumptions of how much material you're going to need for every specific job, every specific item that you're going to do, like groundworks, 3-piece bathroom for each size of house. We've gone through and figured out exactly how many fittings you're going to need for everything. So if you're coming in here, you can adjust and change whatever it is that you want. Because there is 12,000 items, this is the one part that does take a while. So you can always go, like 100 items. You can search, like the Plumbing Bid Pros, groundworks, miscellaneous materials, or mechanical room sink. You can come in here and change the items, and it'll automatically change the price for you. So if you go in here and you change this to 7, it changes the price automatically, and that's what's linking to your quotes and everything. So everything that you're wondering how we built this, we spent a ton of time figuring out how much labor hours and material assumptions you need for each specific job. And we did the same thing with the review labor assumptions. You can come in here, every single labor assumption, and you can organize them in rooms, sections, or size, and you can search for certain things, and you can just click on it, edit it, and it is very specific to your own account. Once you change this, it only changes in your account. All right, so that's pretty much everything about this. I know I kind of blew through it. So again, if you ever have any questions, just don't hesitate to email us back or text us, however you want to get a hold of us. We'd love to chat. But that does not stop here. We are throwing in even more. We're going to include this, and we have an online course. If you're new to running a business, or if you're new to quoting or any of that, if you're just starting out, we have an entire plumbing business template course on how to start and run your own business. We have these downloads. This is actually our old quoting templates and an invoice line item. So yeah, I'll show you this line item list that we have created. You'll also get this whole list. So we have 48 different line items on and you can import this directly into QuickBooks or whatever quoting software that you're using. We have everything pre-filled out for you. So if you're doing a lot of service, and that Plumbing Bid Pro, it's mostly designed for bigger jobs, like big renovation jobs or medium to large renovations and new construction. If you're doing that, plus you're doing a lot of service, we have all these line items pre-filled out. Even the new construction, large renovation line items we have pre-filled out. Like finishing, master bathroom, 5-piece with shower, very specific. We write down everything you're going to do, a recommended price. You can always change a price, and then your GST or whatever taxes that you're charging. There's 48 8 of them in here. We got drain cleaning, we got anything from finishing to rough-ins. Pretty much everything is in your hot water tanks. So right here we have a renovations, plumbing and gas, full house renovation. It literally pre-lists everything that you're going to have to do in a big, large renovation. Obviously, you're going to have to readjust stuff. I personally use this, and then I just like take the job and I kind of reword some stuff, but it saves me tons of time just having these things pre-filled out. And like I said, there's 48 of them. We give that to you within this course here too. We have our old quoting template. It's actually just a calculator. That's a spreadsheet. We give that to you. We give you the line items, and then we have a whole course on what to do before starting your business, what to set up, like your banking, accounting, an entire setup of starting it from scratch. If you've already started your business, you've already been in business for a long time, you're like, I don't need that. We have an entire section in here on how I quote my jobs, how we quote and invoice, all these videos here made specifically to quoting and invoicing. And then the advertising, networking, and social media, we go through and kind of give you a whole bunch of tips and tricks on how to start a YouTube channel or how to create a Facebook page and how to start running ads and write headlines for them. And we want to actually create some pre-made ads for everybody that you can just kind of like copy paste and put in there. So not only do you get the Plumbing Bid Pro software, you're going to get this too, this whole course. We're throwing it in there. And on top of that, we have 70 videos on plumbing apprentice training. So if you have an apprentice or somebody that's newer to plumbing and is struggling, or if you don't have the time to teach them, there's 70 videos in here on the tools, what tools they're going to need, all the basics of how to do plumbing, toilets, how to install them, replace fill valves, everything's in here, drainage issues, cartridge replacements, faucet installations, very detailed videos on how to do all these specific tasks. We even get in to start doing some code drainage tips, how to do wet venting a bathroom, how to stay organized. If you're giving you guys vans, we have a couple videos here on how to organize yourself, hot water tanks, kitchen sinks, showers, and then we get into some more advanced stuff. If you're more advanced in your business and you want to see how we do our jobs, we have renovations that we've done. We go through and kind of tell you how we did them. Same thing with new construction. We have an entire section on all these different new construction jobs that we kind of talked about and went through. And we're not quite done. I'm gonna take one more minute of your time. I want to show you this real quick. We're also throwing in a CRM, kind of like if you ever heard of Service Titan. It's the same idea, but very basic right now. We're not offering too much within here, but you can pretty much use all this. You'll be able to essentially host your website. You can add contacts as if you're doing a lot of service, you can do your calendars, you can create conversations, you can do automations, you can do a whole ton of stuff in here. We're going to just include this in here. Eventually, we're going to build this whole suite out, this CRM software specifically to plumbers. But we need people to kind of give us guidance on how we want to build it for them, so we can help you build this within your business or yourself. I'm glad you took the time to actually listen to what I had to say. I hope everything is as valuable as I think it is to you. If it's something that you're looking to purchase right away and you just want it right now, you can go back to the email or the text that we sent you and click on the checkout link that we sent you, and all the pricing and everything will be right in there. It's a monthly payment or an annual payment. You'll get everything we've shown you, and on top of that, you will have full access to our email. You can ask us questions anytime you want. We'll even hop on a call every once in a while if you need us to help you out with something, if you're struggling with anything at all. So I hope that you find the value in this, and I hope to see you in there. Thanks.